Rundown, a scary child abuse story coming out of Wicomico County, Maryland. More legal problems for Meek Mill and his former judge. Cape Town, one of South Africa's largest cities, is running out of water. All of that and more coming up.
Extension cords, sticks, or their bare hands. Amanda Wright and her live-in girlfriend, Bethleen Joseph, are accused of using household items to beat the children who were in their care. State police describe the horrible conditions inside the Wicomico County.
That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly, and you can too. Share your heart, share your love. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the National Rundown. I'm Lance Johnson.
And I'm Chris Devine. President Trump appealed for common ground in the immigration debate at his first ever State of the Union address on Tuesday night. Trump states, quote, "Tonight I am extending an open hand to work with members of both parties, Democrats and Republicans, to protect our citizens of every background, color, religion, and creed. At a critical time when the political divide over immigration has held up essential government funding, the president called to put politics aside and get the job done."
Major influential employers such as Amazon, Berkshire Hathaway, and JP Morgan are partnering to create an independent healthcare company for their U.S. employees. The association was a sign of just how frustrated American businesses are with the state of the nation's healthcare system and the rapidly spiraling cost of medical treatment. About 151 million Americans get their health insurance from an employer. 2 Wicomico County women imprisoned for beating 3 children with household items. Ava Joy Burnett with the story.
Extension cords, sticks, or their bare hands. Amanda Wright and her live-in girlfriend, Bethleen Joseph, are accused of using household items to beat the children who were in their care. State police describe the horrible conditions inside the Wicomico County house. The children were reportedly locked in closets in a basement, and on top of a limited diet, police believe the woman forced the 8, 9, and 10-year-old to eat dog feces.
Investigators were told that they were at times forced to collect and eat dog feces from the yard at the residence.
Investigators say the abuse inflicted by the 2 women was so severe the children had cuts and bruises. The homes here along Norris Tooley Road are isolated, but neighbors still heard the news. One man called the allegations awful.
I think it's terrible. I think it's terrible. The children, they're little children, regardless of how big or whatever, it's awful.
Police say Child Protective Services took the children out of the house in Mardellis Springs the very night they started this investigation. Police believe the abuse could go as far back as last spring, but the children were too afraid to reveal what they had endured. The 25 and 29-year-old now face multiple counts of assault and abuse.
Some wonder why this maybe didn't come to the attention of law enforcement earlier, but investigators have learned in this situation that these children were threatened with death if they told anyone about what was happening to them.
The body of a missing girl was found last Friday in a Virginia park. Washington, D.C. police said they're investigating a 17-year-old person of interest. Detectives confirmed the identity of 16-year-old Jolie Musa. The body was covered entirely in leaves and brush. It is not yet clear how the girl died.
A radio host has been fired after losing a groping lawsuit to Taylor Swift. 56-year-old David Mueller assaulted Swift by grabbing her under the skirt as they posed in a photo back in 2013 in Denver, Colorado. Mueller denies the situation. He began a new job co-hosting the Jackson and John Bob show on Monday. However, Swift fans are still complaining from all over the world. And Philadelphia Eagles fans are expected to outnumber the New England Patriots fans this Sunday. According to the founder of TicketIQ.com, the cheapest tickets are around $4,000, which is 50% more expensive than last year. Ticket buyers this year are coming from 50 states and 17 countries.
Elections are open for student SGA trustee position this spring semester. Current student trustee Aubrey Singleton is a junior and cannot run for another 2 years, leaving a seat available. The process opened up Monday, January 29th on ProfLink and will be open until Sunday, February 4th. The Philadelphia judge behind rapper Meek Mill's prison sentencing has now hired a Center City lawyer after taking in months of criticism. Judge Janice E. Brinkley's attorney says her reputation has been severely damaged within the last month, and if these attacks keep coming, Brinkley is ready to sue.
Glee star Mark Salling has reportedly committed suicide. Tuesday morning, his body was discovered by police in a nearby riverbed. Salling was 6 weeks away from being sentenced for child pornography possession when he died, and it is said that he attempted suicide multiple times before. Now here's Matt with the inside scoop on Super Bowl 52.
Super Bowl 52 is right around the corner. We are just 3 days away from the big game between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New England Patriots. Backup quarterback Nick Foles of the Eagles is looking to lead the Birds to their first ever championship, while Tom Brady of the Patriots will look to add to his resume by winning his 6th championship. The game will kick off in Minnesota at 6:30 p.m. on NBC. In baseball, all MLB teams are going to have extended protective netting installed in their ballparks by opening day. The netting will extend to at least the far ends of both dugouts, and the move comes to prevent injuries after fans have been injured by foul balls or bats going into the stands. In basketball, superstar LeBron James said he would listen to the Golden State Warriors if a max slot is available for him. James is a free agent after the season and is rumored to be leaving Cleveland for another destination. If the Warriors could free up space for James, they could position themselves to meet with him, and James says he would listen out of respect for their winning culture. That's it for sports. Now back to the guys at the desk.
After James Corden hosts the Grammy Awards, he returned to his late night show Monday night addressing the complaint from UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, who didn't like the celebrity read passages from Fire and Fury. Corden said on his show, quote, "Well, Nikki Haley, you can tell your boss some of us politics without the Twitter meltdowns thrown in."
Coming up after the break, find out how New Jersey stores are supporting the Eagles and why companies are exploiting marijuana.
I see it!
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Hey, did you know that 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Go to theshelterpetproject.org and search your local shelters and rescues. Go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Saudi Arabia is seizing corruption crackdown. According to the Associated Press, a wide-reaching anti-corruption campaign has netted more than $106 billion in financial settlements, with 56 people remaining in custody. Saudi Attorney General Saud al-Mojeb said that the settlements reached include seizure of real estate assets, commercial entities, securities, and cash. The statement did not disclose further details on the types of businesses or what real estate was acquired. Now let's go to Leon as he talks about Tia Mowry Hardwick's pregnancy news.
Thanks, guys. Former Sister Sister star Tia Mowry Hardwick is 6 months pregnant with her second child, a baby girl, and is loving her pregnancy. She shared this photo on Instagram Wednesday, posing in her kitchen wearing a two-piece swimsuit. The post caption said, "Embracing these curves and loving every bit of it. #pregnancy." Justin Timberlake turns 37, and to celebrate his birthday, he teases 3 new songs off his new album, Men of the Woods. He posted a series of 3 Instagram videos. In the first one, he jams to an unnamed song while he's getting a haircut. The second, he videos himself during his rehearsal for Sunday's Super Bowl halftime performance, teasing the song Montana. And in the final video, he grooved to his new song, Higher, Higher. And for those that are fans of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Potter, the homosexuality of the young Albus Dumbledore likely won't play a major part in the upcoming film Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. Director David Yates said in an interview with Entertainment Weekly, quote, "Not explicitly, but I think all the fans are aware of that. When the Harry Potter series came to a close, it was author J.K. Rowling who revealed Dumbledore's sexuality. That's it for entertainment. Back to you at the desk."
Now let's go to Rose as she talks about Poland's Senate approving a Holocaust bill.
Thanks, guys. Poland's Senate has approved a contentious bill that will criminalize individuals that refer to Nazi German death camps as Polish or labels Poland as involved with any of the Third Reich crimes. Many countries, including the U.S. and Israel, have spoken out against the bill, claiming it would undermine free speech. Citizens in Kosovo are banding together to fight the high pollution in their capital of Pristina. On Wednesday, hundreds of people, including the policemen following the protest, gathered together in the city urging lawmakers to better regulate the pollution. In positive news, Hong Kong has voted to ban the trade of ivory. Ivory sales will be gradually phased out, stopping completely in 2021. Campaigners have described the ban as a lifeline for elephants. Back to you guys at the desk.
Now let's talk to Alyssa about what's going on with the moon. Hello, Alyssa.
Hey, guys.
So a rare lunar event occurred yesterday around the world. It was pretty major.
Yeah. Yesterday, scientists called it the super blue blood moon, and it was 3 lunar occurrences all at the same time. And something like that hasn't happened since 1866.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. So
Yeah.
I'm actually curious, could you tell us what happens during this event?
Sure. So like I said, it's 3 different occurrences at the same time. So one of them was a blue moon, which is a full moon, second cycle in the whole moon cycle. And then the second one is a supermoon, which is when the moon is the closest to the Earth, so it looks bigger and brighter. And the third thing is a blood moon, which happens during a total lunar eclipse. So when the moon is in the Earth's shadow, it looks like a deep red color.
And Alyssa, what can scientists learn from this kind of event?
So scientists can look at the moon's surface during all this happenings, and it can provide us information to where we can soon send a rover if NASA plans on doing that.
Very interesting. Thank you very much, Alyssa.
Thank you.
The more you know.
Indeed.
Cape Town in South Africa is home to 4 million people and is on the verge of becoming the world's first city to be completely drained of water. As of February 1st, the South African government ordered its residents not to use more than 13 gallons of water a day. The restrictions are a part of their citywide attempt to avoid Day Zero, the eventual date the city becomes completely devoid of water. Now let's go to Jared, who's talking with a musician from Rowan University.
Thanks, guys. Welcome to the Rowan Special Report. Today, I have a Rowan student who started his own band called Domini. His band was voted the feature artist for the Daily Philly, a magazine started in 2004. Let's take a quick listen to one of their songs. All right, thanks for joining us today, Alex. So I understand that the band is named Domini, and that's also your last name.
Yeah.
Why was that the choice to make the band called Domini?
Well, my brother's last name is Domini, so my last name is Domini, so it made sense, just for continuity. The other 2 members aren't Dominis, but we might lie about that. We might say they're cousins or something. Who knows?
Just kind of try and make it roll?
Yeah.
Okay, so what made you guys decide to want to start a band?
Well, my brother used to be an arborist, used to climb trees for a living, and he got pretty sick of that. He said, and I quote, "I didn't want to cut my hand off." So he'd been writing songs, had been writing songs since maybe he was like 13, and he quit this job at the age of like 24, moved down to Philly, and we just started it from there.
So with everyone in the band, how do you guys all know each other? Like, I get that your brother's in it, but who are the other guys, and how do you know them?
Okay, so the other 2 members know this music teacher, James Whitescarver. James Whitescarver is the person who produces all of our music. He does everything in the studio. James has this drummer, Zach Itilani. I have no idea how to pronounce his last name. And Zach had been drumming on records that James makes. He's just a studio drummer, but he fell in with us and it kind of worked. And then James also teaches at a school where
our guitarist Michael Yunkin was student teaching and had a conversation with this guy in the teacher lounge and said that, you know, this band's looking for a guitarist, and Michael just came along and it was pretty good.
So are you guys planning to make this a long-term thing, or is this just like short-term until you guys get jobs and stuff like that?
At the moment, we're doing both at the same time. We want to make it long-term, but we don't take it all that seriously. Our guitarist, Michael Yunkin, is a teacher. My brother works in the city with a moving company. I'm a student at the moment. So yeah, we're not necessarily looking to make it, you know, long-term per se, but we enjoy doing it. So.
Okay, so I understand that one of your albums is actually titled Wet Leather.
Wet Leather.
Why?
Well, people think being in a band is fun. It's not fun. It's very uncomfortable. I don't mean wet leather in like a sexual term or a sexual way, but wet leather in an uncomfortable way. We go to shows, we drive up to New York, you pay like $30 in tolls. It is so expensive. The sound guy has no idea what he's doing, and it's uncomfortable. It's like wearing like a wet leather jacket. It's awful. Don't start a band.
I mean, weird name for an album, but I can respect it, and I like what you guys are doing so far. All right, so you guys can actually look out for some of Domini's music coming up, as well as for performances in the tri-state area. You can check out their Spotify or Instagram at Domini_music, and we'll send it back to you guys at the desk.
Marijuana was made legal for recreational use in Massachusetts this past election. Retail marijuana stores are set to open in a few months, but some companies, such as High Speed, will describe themselves as a juice delivery company, have been using a legal loophole to sell and deliver legal marijuana to the citizens of the state.
Businesses in the tri-state area support the Eagles before their Super Bowl match by releasing products, most notably cakes that promote the underdog theme that has been bestowed upon the Eagles this season. 2 students are wounded after a 12-year-old girl opened fire this morning in a Los Angeles middle school. 1 student is in critical condition from a gunshot wound to the head. Police do not know how the young girl had access to the firearm. School officials said, quote, a normal school day will continue, considering the student has been taken into custody.
Famous chef Gordon Ramsay opens a new restaurant in Atlantic City. This will be Ramsay's 2nd restaurant in the city, which will open just in time for the summer season. The restaurant will be featured in Atlantic City's Harrah's Resort and will open Memorial Day weekend, according to a press release. Chef Gordon Ramsay is famous for his harsh manners toward his contestants on his reality show, Hell's Kitchen. A 13-year-old child who survived cancer is going to the Super Bowl this Sunday, as an anonymous fan provides him with 2 tickets to watch the Eagles and Patriots battle it out. Next, on the National Rundown, a Philadelphia man is killed outside of Lincoln High School. We'll have the full story for you after the break.
And I can't change, even if I try.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Representatives from the country's largest opioid manufacturers and distributors met with lawyers from over 200 cities, counties, and states in federal court in Cleveland on Wednesday. The meeting was an attempt to hammer out a sweeping settlement of claims related to the opioid crisis. The municipalities want drug companies like Purdue Pharma to pay for damages stemming from the opioid epidemic that has ravaged communities across the country.
Next, we're going to send it over to Michael Reyna to get his opinion of Ronda Rousey's move to the WWE.
Former UFC Women's Champion Ronda Rousey made a shock appearance at WWE's Royal Rumble after a long absence from the UFC. Rousey was shown pointing to the WrestleMania sign, which teased that she will have a big match in WWE's biggest show of the year, WrestleMania. In my opinion, I believe that Rousey was wrong to make her debut now because she could have done so much more with her career as a UFC fighter. She chose to leave UFC after back-to-back losses ended her 12-fight unbeaten streak. Rousey is only 31 years old and is in her prime. I believe that she should have continued fighting for now because a better record and more titles would have helped her reputation. Also, the manner in which Rousey left hurts her image. It seems as though Ronda simply chose to walk away after explaining in an interview that she wants to fully devote her time to wrestling. In my opinion, if Rousey truly wanted to become a WWE wrestler, she should have waited until she was at least 34. That's my opinion. Back to you guys at the desk.
A 32-year-old man is shot and killed outside of Abraham Lincoln High School in the Mayfair section of Philadelphia. The victim has been identified as Ralph Kennedy. He was the father of 8 children and lived in North Philadelphia. Shots were said to be fired around 3:51 p.m. in the school's parking lot during a basketball game. Police are still looking for the gunman, who is believed to be an adult male. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Philadelphia police. The University of Pennsylvania removes trustee Steve Wynn's name from a plaza that is located on campus. The university made this decision after allegations of decades of sexual harassment were made against the business mogul. The university has also stripped Wynn of his honorary degree, as well as his name from a scholarship fund he created at the school. Bill Cosby was accused of sexual assault by dozens of women. He is also having his degrees revoked.
Model Kate Upton speaks out against what really happened between her and Guess Clothing co-founder Paul Marciano. Upton would not reveal whether she was sexually harassed by Marciano or is just speaking on behalf of other women, but says that she is excited to share her story and took to Twitter to call attention to Marciano's misconduct. San Francisco will wipe out thousands of marijuana convictions dating back all the way to 1975. The city will retroactively apply California's new marijuana legalization laws to prior convictions that the district attorney's office announced on Wednesday. Nearly 5,000 felony marijuana convictions will be reviewed, recalled, and resentenced, and more than 3,000 misdemeanors will be dismissed and sealed.
Authorities are investigating a house fire that took place in South Philadelphia around 6 a.m. on Tuesday. Neighbors reported hearing explosions and smelling smoke. Fire crews arrived quickly and began evacuating neighboring homes. The scene was under control within minutes, and fortunately, no one was harmed. The cause of the fire, however, is still under investigation.
Coming up, Tyler will have a look at the weather when we get back.
Got a quarter?
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Google's research lab, X, is forming a new company tackling cybersecurity threats. The new company, Chronicle, has a goal to stay ahead of the hackers. Chronicle believes its advantage lies within the enormous processing and storage that other companies like Alphabet cannot tackle.
Another year of dominance is in favor of the Rowan women's swimming and diving team. The Profs captured their second consecutive New Jersey Athletic Conference title this past Saturday against TCNJ. Rowan won 220-77, putting up their highest scoring performance of the season. Hip-hop artist Drake makes history on the latest Billboard Hot 100 chart, pushing him past Jay-Z for the most top 10 hits by a rapper. God's Plan, Drake's new song, has just reached #1 on the chart and could stay there for quite a while.
We have a rough stretch of weather coming up, and here's Tyler with this week's weather.
What's up, guys? I'm Tyler Doris with your weather update. Tonight, it's going to be 33 degrees, rain, snow, every gross mixture coming out of the sky is going to be coming. It's going to be bad. That's going to carry on through the week, sadly. Friday, partly cloudy, 32 degrees. That cold is going to keep coming. 34 on Saturday, mostly sunny, but it's going to be cold. Sunday, 43 degrees. I know people want to be barbecuing, throwing the pigskin outside, but 90% chance of rain all day. It's going to be coming down hard. Monday, no more rain, but it's going to be 42 degrees. The cold's it's not going away now. We're in February. Tuesday, 43 degrees, partly cloudy. Nasty week, guys. Let's take a look at the weather window. All right, guys, yeah, here's a sneak peek at the next couple days once the rain calms down. Cloudy, windy, it's going to be nasty. My favorite type of weather, right? No, but I mean, the weather's going to be bad, but I think everybody's kind of got a Super Bowl buzz going on right now. I mean, are you guys pumped up? You got any plans?
I mean, I'm pumped.
No barbecuing this week, but
definitely. But hopefully the rain on Sunday doesn't put a damper on anyone's Super Bowl parties. And I think the only thing that'll make it better.
Ordering pizzas this week.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm staying in my bed.
Very good pizza.
It's warmer there.
Eagles win?
An Eagles win will make it a lot better.
27-20, you heard it.
Well, they'll win, and then I'll get up, celebrate, and then go back to bed. All right, that's it for National Rundown. Have a good night.
Come on and banter, guys.